I watched a guy on the internet make a B-bender out of a teaspoon. I saw it with my own eyes. I have no reason to believe it wouldn't work. What got me was the video ended right after the build. The guy wiggled it a little bit, bent an open string, and then the video cut. Now he said in the comments that the music playing in the background was him playing that guitar with that B-bender. And I'm not gonna lie, it sounded beautiful. But being the skeptical person that I am, I wanted to see it for myself. I wanted to know, did it sound right in person? Could you even play a lick on it? So I built one. Same method, same spoon, roughly. And I'm going to show you me playing it here, today. And we'll decide together if it's genuinely a hack or the biggest waste of a teaspoon in the history of the shop. So let's get started. If you don't know what a B-bender is, it's a device built into a guitar, usually a Telecaster, that bends the B string, raising the pitch up to a whole step when you push down on the neck. It's how country players fake having a pedal steel without actually having a pedal steel. The parts can cost hundreds of dollars, and the installation involves doing irreversible modifications to the body, including routing out large amounts of wood from the back. This one's a teaspoon. Technically, it's the handle part of a teaspoon. The spoon part is probably still functional if you don't need to stir anything too deep. At least that's what I'll tell your mom when I return it to her. Ha! Just kidding. I don't know who you are. So the idea here is I need to make a hole for the spring-loaded intonation screw for the B string saddle on the bridge. That's just what anchors the whole contraption. I've taped off the point where the spoon might contact the finish behind the bridge. I put a very specific bend on the lever so things line up properly for the next step. I'm calling it the lever now. It hasn't been a spoon for a while. I wrap painter's tape around the point on the lever where I'll need to mark for my screw hole. I hold it in place and use a Sharpie to mark through the bridge hole to get an accurate location. Once I get it marked, I use my center punch to dent the lever, so my drill bit won't wander when I start the hole. If you omit the center punch, the concave nature of the surface will have the bit skipping across that smooth metal. It's real irritating. This first hole won't be threaded, but it's a tight fit, and I turn the screw to avoid damaging the threads by just forcing it through. I do need the screw to still function after all of this. Now I need to measure, mark, and drill a second hole. This is the one I'll run the B string through, so it has to be big enough for the string, but small enough to hold the ball end. It's a tiny hole, so I mark this one with a mechanical pencil. Then it's pretty much the same procedure as the last hole. Since the B string goes through this one, I need to make sure I deburr the hole so that it doesn't blow through strings. There will be a lot of friction at this point, and I don't want any sharp edges. I'm getting a feel for the amount of travel inherent in this system and determining where I need to drill the third and final hole for the tuning screw. This screw will act as a hard limit to how far the lever can physically be depressed and therefore how much the pitch is raised at its farthest extreme. I want it to go a full step when fully depressed, but it'll be able to do a half step in between as well with practice. If you enjoy watching me do this type of thing, it'd be amazing if you'd like, subscribe, comment, and share. It's free for you and it really helps me grow my channel. Thank you so much in advance. The hardware on this guitar is super shiny chrome, and I want to try and make this lever match as closely as I can, so I'm using the same polish I use on my frets. It's time for final assembly. I just put it all back together exactly as it's always gone, but with the lever on the back side of the bridge. I run the screw through both and then the string. It can be a bit fiddly getting all the small components to go back together with a big lever in the way, but ultimately it lets me win. Of course, I'm taking this opportunity to go ahead and change all the strings as long as I already have her on the bench. In retrospect, I think I should have bought larger gauge strings for this setup. I plan on keeping this guitar in D standard tuning as long as I have this device installed. I'm 100% sure it's going to cook through strings, and I want to do what I can to get as much out of them as I can. Time will tell if that's a valid concern or not. I'm putting a link to the original video that inspired this build in the description. Think you should check it out, after you watch all my videos. Hope you had as much fun watching this as I had making it. Thanks for watching.